get the basic skills. Are they good listeners? Can they build empathy? Are they coachable? Mm-hmm. Probably a big one. Are they coachable? And then what are their behaviors? How do they come across in how they will conduct themselves in the organization? And that's fundamentally important, which is why you have a 3-month cooling off, so you can actually see those behaviors in play. So are you talking about what's an awesome salesperson, or how do you go about finding an awesome salesperson?
Well, let's do both, because I like the two points now.
They are different, right? So so let's talk about what's an awesome salesperson first.
Yep.
Because that's a more interesting question for me, I think.
Yeah.
So an awesome salesperson is different depending on the stage of the market cycle that your organization is in, your channels to market, and the product or service that you offer.
Wow. I was hoping it was going to be a way simpler answer, but this is great. No, but this is so good though. This is so good. So please continue.
I'll just get someone that's coin operated, or get someone that's really upbeat. And look, yes, there's ticks on all of that, but it doesn't always apply. So, and let me give you an example now.
Please.
Statement. So, if you're starting up, okay, and you don't really have a customer base, what you need are hunters. And you hear the terminology hunters and farmers. I still believe that is true. Mm-hmm. You need these hunters. Now, hunters, by their very nature, are people that are coin operated, that are risk takers, right? They love the challenge. They hear someone say no, and they go, "Oh, I'm 3 no's closer to a yes," and they take that as an opportunity to prove themselves. I'm pushing the extreme, right?
Right.
But there are people that are of that nature and that love that. And when you're starting to build a customer base, you need more hunters than you do farmers, because you've got no one to account manage. Mm. So whereas if you're in your market cycle and you're relatively well established, or you haven't really innovated with new products, or the market has been fairly stable, then what you're doing is you need to make sure you retain your customers and you grow them. And an aggressive, take no prisoners kind of hunter will not work. They will kill your customer base. You need someone with a higher degree of empathy, a higher degree of listening skills, a sort of a longer term view of the relationship, and probably not so coin operated as you would a hunter, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a first point around the market side, right? The other thing is that if you're selling direct to customer versus selling through business partners, it's very different, right? If I'm trying to sell, I don't know what you guys do, say search engine optimization, right? If I go and talk directly to Coca-Cola about search engine optimization, I'm building that trust. I'm the subject matter expert. They need to believe that I know what I'm doing. Whereas if I'm selling the same service, but I'm using a business partner, then I'm using their trust, I'm using their relationship and their proximity. So now my role is to empower, to assist, to understand the process, remove any blockages, educate, train, find the right incentives, but I'm still a salesperson, but I'm a channel salesperson. So again, very different set of skills that you need. And then think about phone salespeople versus field salespeople, enterprise salespeople that need to not be egotistical that I run everything, but need to be inclusive and collaboratively and sell as a team, versus the lone soldier with the suitcase pounding the turf. So the first thing, so this is why I say you really, to find what you need, what makes a good salesperson depends on all of these things. Now, if you want to find, because I'm sure the listeners will say, but what am I looking for in each one of those cases to make sure that I'm hiring the right person? I'm going to say this. What you're looking for is someone whose motivations, their goals and aspirations are clearly aligned to what you're trying to do and what you need them to do, right? So, if I'm going to hire a hunter, I'm really looking for someone that comes to me and says, look, Gus, I really just want to buy a house by the end of the year. I'm going to need to save $200,000, which means I'm going to have to achieve 200% of my target, right? That is the kind of person I want to hire if they're a hunter.
So you go for motivation there, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the motivation. Their motivation aligns to my needs.
Is coin operate? It's coin, right? Yeah.
Now, if I want to find a good farmer, then what I'm looking for is someone that says, look, I want to make sure, I want to come into an organization where I'm building good relationships with the customer, they're trusting me, and, we're able to grow together, and I can go home and really point to the things that I've achieved. Of course, I want to make a good living, but really building that connection and driving that outcome is going to help me. And here's the proof of where I've done it before. That's what you need to look for, right? And that's what a great salesperson is. So I think the key ingredient is how do you find great talent? Make sure that their motivation aligns to your requirement. And then the final thing is make sure that you don't just focus on skills. Focus on behaviors, right? Because remember, we're bringing in a person that is going to be part of your culture. And if culture is so important, you need the right behaviors. So get the basic skills. Are they good listeners? Can they build empathy? Are they coachable? Probably a big one. Are they coachable? And then what are their behaviors? How do they come across in how they will conduct themselves in the organization? And that's fundamentally important, which is why you have a 3-month cooling off, so you can actually see those behaviors in play.